Most website owners think they're GDPR compliant. They have a privacy policy, they have a cookie banner, and everything looks fine on the surface. But after auditing dozens of websites, I've learned that's rarely the full story. Over the past few weeks, I've shared 5 real website audits on this channel. Different industries, different countries, different website owners. Yet the same privacy mistakes kept appearing again and again. In this video, I'll show you the scoring system I use, the most common compliance issues I found, and what website owners can do to fix them. Before we begin, these audits are educational reviews based on publicly visible information at the time of testing. They're intended to help identify potential privacy and consent improvements, not provide legal advice. At this point, you might be wondering if these issues really matter. The reality is that privacy compliance isn't just about avoiding fines. It affects user trust. If visitors feel they're being tracked without permission, they may leave your website before becoming customers. A properly configured consent experience shows transparency and gives users control over their data. That's why these issues are worth fixing even for small businesses. Let's get started. Every website starts with a possible score of 10 points. Here's what I look for. Privacy policy available. 1 point. Cookie banner present when required. 1 point. Visible reject button. 1 point. Granular consent options. 1 point. No non-essential cookies before consent. 2 points. This one carries extra weight because it's one of the most important consent requirements. Ability to withdraw consent. 1 point. Cookie policy available. 1 point. Clear consent language. 1 point. No dark patterns or manipulative design. 1 point. That gives a maximum score of 10. Now let's look at the issues I found most often. This was by far the most common issue. Several websites displayed a cookie banner. At first glance, everything looked compliant. But after checking what loaded behind the scenes, analytics cookies were already active before visitors made a choice. This defeats the purpose of consent. A cookie banner alone doesn't make a website compliant. What matters is what happens before the user clicks accept. I found this issue on multiple websites I reviewed, and honestly, it's one of the easiest mistakes to miss because everything appears fine visually. Here is how to fix it. Configure analytics and marketing technologies to remain blocked until consent is granted. Then verify that behavior using browser developer tools instead of assuming it's working correctly. Another common issue was the missing reject button. Users could easily accept cookies, but declining them was either impossible or significantly harder. One privacy-focused company I audited blocked analytics until consent, which was great. But visitors couldn't simply reject tracking. That's a problem because consent should be a real choice. If accepting takes 1 click, but rejecting requires several extra steps, users are being nudged toward a specific outcome. Here's how to fix it. Display accept and reject options with equal visibility. Make both choices clear and easy to access. Several websites allowed users to make an initial choice, but once that choice was made, there was no way to change it. This is something many website owners overlook. Consent isn't supposed to be permanent. Visitors should be able to revisit their preferences and withdraw consent later. Without that option, users lose control over their own choices. Here is how to fix it. Add a visible cookie settings link. Many websites place it in the footer. The important part is making it easy for users to find. A surprising number of websites had privacy policies, but no dedicated cookie policy. These documents are often confused. A privacy policy explains how personal data is processed. A cookie policy explains which cookies are used, why they're used, and how users can manage them. During several audits, I found privacy documentation, but little information about cookies themselves. Here's how to fix it. Create a dedicated cookie policy. Explain cookie categories, purposes, durations, and providers in plain language. Not every audit revealed problems. One online store actually scored 10 out of 10. It had a visible banner, a reject button, granular controls, no tracking before consent, a privacy policy, a cookie policy, and a clear way to revisit consent choices. No website is automatically compliant just because it passes a checklist. But it showed what a strong implementation looks like. And it stood out because most websites I reviewed had at least one issue. The biggest lesson from these audits is simple. Most compliance problems aren't caused by bad intentions. They're caused by assumptions. Website owners install a banner, add a privacy policy, and assume everything is working correctly. But privacy compliance isn't about what visitors see. It's about what actually happens behind the scenes. If you own a website, I'd encourage you to review your implementation regularly. And if you'd like your website featured in a future audit, leave your URL in the comments below. If you found this video useful, subscribe for more website audits, GDPR tips, and privacy guides. Thanks for watching.